The Liberals reintroduced their bill to ban forced conversion therapy today, proposing a series of amendments to the criminal code. The legislation would prohibit unwanted religious intervention seeking to change a person's sexual or gender identity. Offenders could face up to 5 years in prison. Sound familiar? You're not wrong. The government first introduced this bill back in March, days before Parliament was prorogued and it was shut down. Here's a clip of one survivor of conversion therapy, Matt Ashcroft. He speaking on that day in March. Check this out.
I was forbidden to speak against him or say anything that was contradictory to what they believed in. Because of this, I felt alone. Even when I left, I did not know what to do. I felt lost and nobody knew what I was talking about. Conversion therapy almost drove me to my death.
That was just before COVID actually closed Parliament. So here to speak about the move is the Justice Minister, David Lametti. Minister, good to have you back on the program. You've reintroduced this bill. Now, what specifically in the criminal code would change?
Well, we would first of all ban the practice of conversion therapy for all minors, so anyone attempting to convert a minor, as well as moving a minor across a border in order to undergo conversion therapy in another country. With respect to adults, we would ban conversion therapy where it was the result of coercion or fraud. And we would also ban both profiting from conversion therapy and advertising conversion therapy services. In each case, there would be a criminal offense.
You've specified in the bill that the new offenses would not apply to those who provide, quote, support to people who are questioning or have some questions about their sexual orientation of identity. But, you know, Aaron O'Toole, the leader of the Conservative Party, said the bill, he's concerned it's sloppy legislation and he wants more clarity because he essentially says that conversion therapy is not defined, the definition of conversion therapy is not defined within the section of the bill. What do you say to that?
Well, look, I don't agree with his interpretation of it. We think it's pretty clear. On the other hand, we'll use the committee process and we'll work in good faith to improve the bill if necessary. But let me just say this, Evan, there's a huge difference between participating in a conversation with someone that helps him or her explore who they are and actually participating in a process that tells a person that who they are is wrong and has to be changed. That's the difference. I think it's pretty clear. I think Canadians realize it's pretty clear, and I hope that Mr. O'Toole realizes it's pretty clear as well.
Vocal opponents like Conservative MP Derek Sloan, who ran for the leadership, argue it doesn't protect individuals, and I'll quote him, he said, this effectively puts into law child abuse. What would you say to Mr. Sloan?
I think he's completely off base on that allegation. This is about banning a practice that tries to convert people back to a so-called normal standard of heteronormativity or heterosexuality. That's all it does. It does not prevent people from having legitimate, exploratory, mentoring conversations. It only prohibits the action. As I said before, this is about telling someone that who they are is wrong and that it has to be changed through a process that causes lifetime damage. We heard the quote from Matt Ashcroft at the beginning. He reached out to me today on Facebook and was very pleased we were going ahead.
Minister, I got to just quickly switch because you're a Quebec MP and you're obviously the Attorney General of Canada. There's new regulations in Quebec regarding the red zones. They enable police to obtain a very quick telewarrant on the same night to enter people's homes to enforce a lockdown if they think there's a party. Are you concerned that the threshold for reasonable and probable grounds to search someone's own home has now been lowered? Are you concerned about civil liberties?
Look, I'm a Montreal MP, so I understand what the nature of a red zone is and that we're in the middle of a pandemic, which is a health crisis that we haven't seen, frankly, in this country ever, this nature. Obviously, I'm the Attorney General and the Minister of Justice, so I do believe in privacy, but it would be premature for me and inappropriate to comment on the legislation and the practice. We'll leave that to a moment for more profound reflection.
I'm just not sure why. I mean, it came into effect last night. It certainly falls into your purview. I spoke to the Canadian Civil Liberties Association today. They're deeply concerned. They say studies have shown again and again, I'm quoting them, that homes are more likely to be targeted by police are BIPOC, Black, Indigenous, people of color homes, whether it be systemic or otherwise. They say racism is the biggest problem with telewarrants in Quebec. Again, I just got to ask you, are you concerned that the threshold is too low and that these kind of issues may arise?
Well, look, it is obviously something that we are going to look at in terms of the parameters of the legislation as well as how it is operationalized in practice. But as I said, it's premature for me, particularly in my role as Attorney General, to comment on that at this stage.
All right, I'll leave it there. Obviously, we'll see how that, as you say, how that is enforced, if at all. Minister, good to have you on the program. The Justice Minister David Lametti. Appreciate it very much, sir.
Thanks very much.